Repeat that. I'm sorry, I didn't get the first
How
part.
important is who becomes the next president to shape the economy?
Well, I don't want to get too political here in this setting, certainly. But if you would ask me that, I would say that regardless of who the next president is, they need to make the economy a top priority. And we need to recognize the circumstances that the American people are facing and that the individual states are facing.
Governor, do you have any second thoughts given the revenue picture concerning the tax reform and the tax reductions that were part of that?
Well, without a doubt, if the tax reform had not taken place, we would have had significant more resources for this biennial budget. And so I acknowledge that. I don't know exactly how much more money we would have had. Estimates have gone as high as $1.9 billion. That may be a generous estimate given what's happened to the economy, but there's no doubt we would have had more resources. Having said that, I have embraced the tax reform because I do believe that it is important for Ohio's future that our state be a state that is attractive to those who would invest and create jobs. And so I acknowledge the particular pain that we're feeling in the short term, certainly, but I continue to be hopeful that as the economy rebounds, that the tax reforms that have been put in place will enable us to see greater growth and opportunity than would have been available to our state and our people if those reforms had not been enacted.
Director Sept, do you have any idea about what county types of funding could be lost in this? In other words, would it be help in removing snow, or you know what I mean? What kind of county reductions over 88 counties face?
I think it's too early to tell. That's going to be a decision that many counties continue to make as their receipts from the local government fund have been reduced. The governor referred to the change we made in House Bill 119. The local government fund today goes up and down with the fortunes of the state general revenue fund. So even as our revenues have been contracting, their revenues have been contracting through the local government fund as well. In terms of services the state provides as a subsidy to county operations, that is something that local counties and the departments are going to begin working through as they put together their plans. So we don't have an answer for you. I think it will be different based upon each type of expenditure and the contribution to those expenditures that we draw down from the federal government as well as what we support today through general revenue fund.
Governor, I wonder if you'd say a word about the value system which informed the choice of the line items to be spared at this time.
Value system, well, we believe that we must educate our people, our children. That's why we have tried to make sure that education remained a priority. The health care of our children remained a priority. So we've tried to do what we've tried to do since I've been in office, and that's live within our means. That's what I am constitutionally obligated to do. So we're living within our means, and these are some of the decisions we have to make to do that. But we also want to invest in those things that are most important to Ohio and Ohio's future. And certainly education is important. It is the hope that I think we have for a more prosperous future, a more growing economy, and expanded opportunity for our people. So we want to protect our elementary and secondary schools from cuts in the subsidies which they receive from the state. We want to make sure that the promise we made to our institutions of higher education when we asked for the tuition freeze, we wanted to make sure we honored those commitments. And so, you know, we've made difficult decisions, but we think they are decisions that are defensible from the standpoint of what is most important to our state and what we must do at this particular point in time to get through this difficult set of circumstances. But certainly education and health care is at the top of the list.
Governor, you say that you expect a larger storm moving ahead, and that's why you want to preserve the rainy day fund. How bad would it have to get, though, for you to consider something like rolling back the tax reform or going to a tax increase?
Well, I think it would have to get quite bad. I think a tax increase under the circumstances that we face could have a detrimental effect upon our economy's ability to recover. And in terms of the rainy day fund, you know, we just monitor things on an ongoing basis. Thankfully, we do not project at this point a shortfall that would be equal to what our worst case scenario was. But we're in that middle range now, and we're continuing to watch an economy struggle. And we will make those decisions as we're required to do so.